Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing, this live update on the road with this beautiful, glowing, stunning, gorgeous sunset in the greater Bloomington metropolitan area in central Illinois. Just a phenomenal, gorgeous sunset this evening in central Illinois. Not so gorgeous, though, on the other hand, have been the coins today, right? A lot of the coins have been getting beat down pretty good today. Bitcoin, you can see, had a big fall, and we showed you this earlier, that this rising wedge right here, see this? We're going to zoom out a little bit more than a daily time frame. See the rising wedge back here, right? You see how they look very similar? Look at that. This would be much better if I was on my laptop, but I'm not, so we're just going to have to deal with it like this. But look at this. Look how similar this looks. And the Bitcoin, and get a few hecklers here and there, because you guys all think this is going straight up to $100,000 right now, just like you thought it was going to go straight to 100 back there in the springtime of 2021, March, April, May, and June, when the price was approaching the mid 60s. And I was diagnosed, sniffing out, and detecting and averting the market manipulators, as I was telling you they were going to pull the rug out from under you, as this was a rising wedge right here, where you had a constricting move to the top side, where you had a high, a higher high, a higher high, and a higher high, but in each high getting lower and lower, breaching the previous high, and each low getting tighter and tighter. And that's a bearish reversal topping pattern. And I went over extensively for months about how this was topping out with crashing volume and a rounding top and a rising wedge. And the targeted move out of that was the bottom of the wedge. And it came all the way down to the bottom of the wedge, which was about $30,000 was the targeted move, 32,000 area at the bottom here. See that, the bottom of the wedge? Support, resistance, and then support. This was your bottom of the wedge, was about 36,000. Between 32 and 36 was the target down there. It overshot on wicks all the way down in the upper, about 28,500, right? But we were the only ones out here getting out ahead of this for you in the face of a rising price in the hysteria that was early spring of 2021 in the coin market, right? And we told you the rug would get pulled. And I think you had about how big of a crash did you have here in Bitcoin, right? You guys were saying the same thing, and you crashed 56.69% in Bitcoin, right? Nobody's seen that on here, and all the YouTube hustlers, fleecers, and heisters that don't try to give you real TA. They just try to get clicks and likes and views by putting out the hype train, right? But Vincenzo and Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing is the hype train killer, right? With the jabroni killer. Now look at this. Looks exactly like what you did back there. Crashing volume on a very big rising price. Again, that's a topping reversal pattern, a constricting price. The move's getting smaller and smaller. And yes, you could break to the upside. Those are always possible. But this looks awfully similar to this. And I would be concerned for a drop down to the bottom of the wedge and the bottom of this major volume profile indicator down here at $30,000. And I've been talking about a humongous November crash. And as soon as you break this rising wedge, if you break it down, you're having a huge fall, right? You're coming down to the bottom of the wedge. I would be very concerned about this, that this is a phenomenal, fabulous, glowing, all gorgeous, jabroni enticing double top with the rising wedge again. And I think they're going to pull the rug out from underneath you, and I'd be very concerned. And I am not backing off of the big fall in the face of all the hype again. I didn't back off in April, not backing off now. We were right last time. We've been on track and on point, right? Out ahead of the playing field. And we're out ahead of the playing field again. And I would be very concerned, and we're going to be on top of this right now for you on the Bitcoin. And if we zoom in on a closer time frame to see some localized support and resistance, you can see that right here. You got your underneath support at the bottom of this rising wedge at about 62,000, right? If you break that, you would come down to the next level. So if you're looking at Bitcoin right now, right, in a tight TA, here's your major support at 61,000, right? If you break 61,000, Your next major support is this orange ring that we broke above a long time ago, and that's $50,000. That's a big collapse from rising channel, rising wedge to underneath support at the ring. From the point of a breakout there to support, that would be a 17.69% or $10,669 fall, right? So I'd be very concerned about that, and then you can march your way down even your underneath support, right? So pay attention to this, and your overhead resistance, so you all know, is right up here, right at the top of this rising wedge. There's your overhead resistance, 72,000. If you could pump up there, I don't think that's likely. I think what's more plausible is you retest the 61,000 and then ultimately start to come back down in the next few weeks or days to 50,000, right? And then you're gonna have to play it from there. That's what I think's going on in the Bitcoin, right? We'll go to the XRP that you guys seem to like so much. And right now you can see in the hour time frame, we broke below the 200-day average, so that's bearish. You know what we talked about earlier today? We think we're coming down there on a flush to, at the very least in the immediate short term, retest this underneath support and this green volume bottom, the volume indicator, and then we'll just move it along into the future. At that $6 level, we think we're coming down there, and on any kind of pump, you would get rejected by this green ring now as the price has moved along, and that's at about $1. We're going to get rid of that, about $1.28, right? So that's what I'm watching for in XRP. And then on the step down in XRP, it would be 128 is your upper resistance, 106 is your initial lower support, right? And then on an even bigger fall, which now we would move out into the future, would be, where's the current date? Out here, right? That would be, we know we got that 71, 72 cent target, right? And we got other rings that we have brought out into the, we got them dimmed out, and we don't have them shown right now because I just want to show you the basics right here while we're moving along the greater central Illinois area. But that's what you're looking at in the XRP. Your major underneath support is at $1.06, and your major overhead resistance is that green ring that's running from top left to bottom right. And that's what I would watch out for. I think you've got a date with this green area in XRP with our industry exclusive wavy line price predictor. I think you're coming down into there because that's the volume indicator, right? That's where the major volume has been traded, and that's where I think you're coming. I'll keep you updated on Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing. Hit that subscribe and like button, bell notification. Peace and love. Peace and love.